This conference will now be recorded.
So first of all, I would like to share some information from my side. So my name is Mahesh Kumawat, and I'm a well certified of AWS and Azure. Okay, and today we are discussing about the AWS concept of what you have did actually in your last previous classes, and then we will go further. So, Kotsav and Saurabh, could you please tell me one by one that what you have learned your previous classes, and then I can understand what you have done it, and then we can go further. So, Sahu, please
Okay.
could you please tell me that what you have learned from the previous classes so that I can got the basic understanding that what you did, and then I can understand and then go further.
Yeah, we did basic things regarding AWS, and after that, VPC little bit, private cloud, and Lambda function, and after that, AWS Marketplace, storage, S3, EFS, and CI and CD like continuous integration and continuous delivery, and what are the exam types, and developer tools, code commit, cloud information. After that, CloudWatch,
Glacier.
Glacier, yes, cloud formation, operation works, service catalog, system manager. Means so what is trusted advisor, what is managed services, and media services also. A little bit theory part, and IAM like identity access management, MFA authentication, Google authentication, SSO, and after that, versioning, cross-region transfer, lifetime of the service, CloudFront delivery.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So, is there any architecture part you have did or not?
No.
Okay, okay, no problem, no problem. That's why I just want to understand that have you ever done the architecture part as well or not? Because the matter of fact that once you're going for any organizations, first of all, you have to create an architecture part, right? This is the
Yeah.
functionality you're just talking about right now, that Glacier, S3, Bucket, and VPC and other stuffs. These are the parts, these are the features of AWS. So what you I will going to teach you first of all the architecture part. Once you're going for any organization and they will ask you that we have a setup of we have to set up the AWS, okay, in our company. So what you have to done it. First of all, you have to go for the benchmarking. What is it? What does it mean benchmarking? It means that the hardware and the software. What is the best software in the company and cost-effective solution? Okay, so you have to done it the benchmarking. The second thing, so the thing is important here, what is the existing cost of the company and what is the differentiate of the AWS once we're going for the AWS implementation in any company. Okay, so I will just share you the some screen, okay, so that you just get a little idea about that what we can how to do it, the benchmarking, all sort of stuffs. So first of all, you have to idea about the what is the hardware and software cost of the company and how do you analyze the company. Okay, then you can just go for the uh, hardware and software benchmarking from the AWS Azure same time, so that a company can understand what is the differentiate of the cost, and then you just implement the AWS architecture. The first scenario is this, and second scenario is this: you're just going to migrate your existing infrastructure to the AWS. Okay, so this is the little ideas I will just let you know that what is the best things in the AWS and why the AWS is number one in the current market. That is also I was going to teach you. Okay.
Yeah.
So are you able to see my screen at the same time?
No, we can't see the screen. Yeah, right now.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, perfect. So I have just created some of the what the topics, okay, which we just go for it. So the first of all, the AWS pricing. So how can we calculate the pricing? So this is the calculator is coming, and there is a web browser. Web link is also mentioned here. Okay, so you guys are just clicking on the web link. I will just forward you, okay, on the same kind of the sheet is all about, and then you can just simply click on this web link, and you can just calculate the pricing of the AWS any infrastructure part. Like you just going for the EC2 instances cost, you can just go for the RDS cost, or you can do different features cost you will find out here. Okay, and suppose I will provide you this is the second thing is the server types. So what type of instances you require, you can also just click on the web link, and you just find out different types of EC2 instances, and different type of cost, different type of pricing is also there. And the third web link is billing. So the billing console is there. You just click on this particular thing, and you will got the billing console same time, right? So you just understand that what kind of billing is coming, and how can you just check the billing at the same time. Suppose you have created your AWS account, free account in the AWS, and you just got the billing. So how can you reduce the billing, and how can you check the what kind of instances is creating your bills? So you just simply click on this particular link, and you just find out the all sort of things. The four things we will just will let you know. This is basic fundamentals of AWS is basically is AWS support. So suppose your billing is coming again, and you have to find out how to reduce the bill, how to remove the billing. So you have to go to the help desk ticket, and you just create a ticket to the particular team, and then they will uh, help you out to reduce the bill same time. So you just create a login ticket, and then they will help you out. Then the tools and toolkits is also available, and the different kind of certifications of the AWS and the lab
What is
environment.
what is
Okay,
SDK? SDK?
software development kit. It is a different types. How can we log into the AWS? Different kind of softwares. Like
Okay.
the PowerShell also you can use it. The different SDK tools we can use to log into the AWS, and we have the web console at the same time. So these are the ways how can we going to implement, how can we how can we join the login to the AWS environment. So the sixth thing is basically you just understand what kind of certifications all about in the current environment. Okay, I will let you know, no problem. But so this is the basic things. Then the lab environment, how can you create a lab, how can you create a documentation part of your lab? Because once you're going for any company, they will let you know, because you are the only one person for the AWS implementations, and you have to create documentation part first, and then you have to implement the same documentation to the AWS environment. So that's also important to understand how to create a what documentation part of the AWS. Then the different types of AWS PDFs documentation. So you will just find out all the AWS documentation into the particular AWS site as well. So just click on the particular web link and then it will redirect you at the same time to the documentation part. Then there is some videos is also available on the AWS web link. So you easily just click on the link and then you will find out the videos of the AWS. So just anytime if you are you know what, some puzzle or you are confusing some kind of features, you just click on the particular link and it will redirect you the videos and then you will find out all sort of stuffs at the same place. And in the 10 point, this is the AWS projects. So different kind of project is available because any company have a different scenario, because they are the three types of companies, we can say: small companies, medium sized company, and enterprise level companies. So different companies have different scenarios to implement of the AWS because they have this limited kind of budget. Okay, so you have to understand the different kind of project, so you can also get information. So this is a web link, you will find out also all sort of project in a single page. And these are some white papers of why the AWS adoption, why to just like that. I will give you one example that why the company is adopting the AWS. So you have to convenience to your management, your senior. So you just going for the white papers and then you can just find out how to adopt the techniques of the AWS. And any new updates of the AWS, you just going to a particular link, web link, and you just find out the what is the new things coming to the picture of the AWS. Okay, so AWS is a cloud environment where the changes are made very easily from the AWS. So any new changes, you have to go for this particular updates and then you can find out any changes. Okay, so these are the very basic fundamentals you have to understand, and you have to memorize that what is the things where we can find out. Okay, and this is the same thing is also in Azure, because if you are working for the cloud computing, and sometimes company is you know what, says that what is the difference between the pricing of the Azure and AWS. So this is the same techniques you have to just find out. So I have also created the same time the things over there. So simply just click on the web link and you just find out all sort of information at the same place. Perfect. Any confusion in this?
No, that's fine.
Okay, let's move further. Then we can go for the cloud implementations, right? So in the beginning of this particular slide, I suggested that we have to go for some hardware benchmarking or software benchmarking of your company. Okay, so suppose so this is the sheet we have created, because once we are going to implement of my company and my different client side, we have created the single DC implementation and this is a cross DC implementation. So first of all, you have to just create a zone. Zone, it means that what is a physical location and what kind of applications you're running in your company, right? And how many number of nodes are there, and what is the configuration of the nodes, and how much memory and how much uh, cost of the particular zone, right? So you will just get a easy to understand that this is the cost is implementation of the one side. Suppose you have one branch, or this branch have a different applications are running, different SQL database, FTPs are running, and these are the number of nodes of this particular branch, and then the configuration and memory and the total cost of the particular site. So we can easily understand that this is the one side, one branch we have, and we have the cost of 444.256. This is the cost of the hardware which we are right now occurring same time. So your management says that come on, we can go for the migrate all sort of things to the cloud. So please confirm us that what is the cost of the particular Azure and what is the cost of the AWS same time, right? So you have to just go for the price calculator and just going for the some kind of configurations, what kind of configurations required, and this is how many number of what instances, how many number of things you required, and this you have just calculate the cost at the same time. So your existing cost is triple four point 256, and the Azure costing would be 3093. The same things you can do it here for Azure, sorry, EC2 as well. So just going for the EC2 instances, what type of instances required and what is the cost. It just looks very, you can say that the price is little higher, we can say that, but it is for long term because it's a flexible, reliable, and cost-effective solutions, and we can increase our hardware solutions same time, and we can decrease our solution same time, and it is used for the geographical part of any globalized environment. We can do at same time. So this is the benefit of the particular cloud computing. But here it is, if we have to implement, we have to create a new branch, then we have to cost of the hardware is also incurred same time. So it is not a flexible approach, but where we can go for the flexible approach in in a very short time, right? So this is the only one branch example I have tell you, and this is a cross disk implementation. It's a tier 3 implementation, so we have different branches. The same kind of aspect is there. So a zone 1, branch 2, and branch 3. Okay, the same kind of things we can do on the different branches. So my idea is basically, first of all, you have to analyze what is the hardware costing of your current hardware running into your premises. Then you can just go for the hardware, the cloud costing of your company, of the Azure or AWS, once you're going to migration, right? And then this is some useful links is also available for the same kind of things. So you if you click on a particular link, and it will redirect to the same times, what is the cost of the hardware, what is the cost of the software, what is the cost of the things. I will just click on the one link, and then you can just easily understand that what is all about. Because once you're working in any company, right, they will always tell you that what is a cost effective solution they want to know from your side. So here you can say that this is a cost effective solutions, we can do it. Wait a second.
My screen is disappeared now. Actually, we are not able to see
Okay, okay.
properly.
Yes. Wait a second. I'm just doing it, something like that. Little slowness in the website from my internet. That's the thing is going on. No problem. So are you able to see my screen? The browser is open.
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, wait a second. Let's see. Yeah, this is all about. This is the first thing. So it's a single browser, right? And you will just find out the costing of AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, and IBM Cloud same time, right? So the matter of fact that if you're working any organizations and they will, because they have already implemented the AWS or Azure. So if you're working in any company, then they expect you to how to cost effective solution you can provide it. So this is the one
Mas, I have a question. Azure service is provided by which organization?
Microsoft.
this is a different
Microsoft.
yeah,
Okay,
Microsoft.
okay, yes.
You have basic fundamentals, basic idea about all sort of cloud, because you are the cloud architect of your organization, right? So you have to understand the basic things about the cost. What is the cost effective solution, whether you go for the AWS, whether you go for the Azure, whether you go for the Google Cloud, whether you go for the IBM Cloud. So this is the hardware and software benchmarking. Then how can we create a architecture? This is another part of the story, but you have to convenience to your management that this is the cost effective solution, we can go for it, and this is the price we can go for it. So suppose we have hardware cost is very high, and if you're going for the AWS, this is the cost we can go for it 1 year, and this is Azure cost, this is cloud cost, this is IBM cloud cost. So in the single web page, you just find out all the pricing part, what is the cost of this particular things, and then you just analyze all sort of things. Perfect.
Yep.
Okay.
Can you just explain the maximum SLA credit on monthly bill, in SLA terms?
SLA terms is basically provided by the cloud itself. So it is basically depend on the how much pricing you are providing, because the Microsoft and the AWS providing the premium services of support at the same time. Okay, so whether the organization is taking the SLA part, SLA premium services or not, if you're taking the premium services, then they will assess it at the same time. If you look at this here, 30% of maximum SLA credit, because they will charge you 30% of the SLA at the same time, the charging of the monthly, because they will help you out in the monthly 30%, and they will charge 100% at the same time. If you taking the premium services of Azure, you will have to pay 100% at the same time SLA credit, and this is 50% of the SLA credit. So this is all about the money part. We can say that how much money you will have to pay, how this is kind of SLA they will provide you at the same time. This is a uptime, this is uptime, this is also uptime. So this is all sort of information. So I will just share you the link. You just go for this link, and there are a number of things you will find out. For this is VM sizes, different things you will find out here, and you can just conclude that what is the best things, which is the best cloud we can go for it as per your requirement, as per your analysis. If you look at the storage part, database part, and the different other database part, additional servers, AI learning machine, different things. Okay, so we will go further again to the particular AWS part. I think that is our requirement, that we are here to learn the AWS. Okay. So I will share you another slide for the same. So my question is to you both, that why we going to choose the AWS? Why not Azure? Just give me this answer.
high availability.
High availability in
And
both AWS and Azure same time. Cloud is also Google is also provide high availability.
it's cost effective. The means the lower cost charged for AWS Amazon Web Services than Azure, and Amazon has the big infrastructure than Azure.
Yes, but if you are working on the medium-sized enterprise company, and because all sort of things is remain same, I think. Any other benefit which you are looking for, yeah, this is the best benefit, we can say that. So that is the also important part, because we are learning for the AWS, no matter for this, but we have to understand what is the best things in different clouds. That is also very important part, because sometimes the cost effective solution is Azure, not AWS, right? So as a cloud architect, you have to understand the IBM, Google, Azure, AWS, every cloud, and then you can, you know what, convince to the management this is the right solution, we can go for it, and they will expect you the same time. Okay, no problem. I will just let you know. I just created the PPT for you guys, so that you can easily understand what is the things we have to implement at the same time. What is the difference between the two things? So are you able to see this screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect, perfect. So guys, I will let you know little about the AWS and Azure, and we have to, you know what, differentiate on different features, different kind of stuffs, right? Then we are expertise on the AWS, no matter, because we are studying AWS, but we have to came to know that what is the things in Azure as well, because some of the advantage of Azure, some of the advantage of AWS. So that depend on the condition, depend on the organization, that what they are going to adopt. But as a cloud architect, how do you provide a cost-effective solution at the same time, right? So the second, uh, the, the option is basically there. Yes, this is the comparison sheet, AWS and Azure. So these are the some fundamentals features where we can differentiate the AWS and Azure. The compute instances like EC2, okay. There's a VM, the VM instances, the storage part, the database part, deployment part, security part, user interface, support and community, pricing part, troubleshooting and metrics, and uptime, right? So these are the you know what, eight features we can differentiate the both AWS and Azure. Then we will just mastering on the AWS. Yeah, this is the best things we can go for it for the AWS. So another thing is there. This is the compute part, right? So we have different 54 type of instances we can create in the AWS. And if you look at this Azure, this is 52 types. So I don't think so any type of you know what, difference. Both things we can perform on the AWS, both things we can perform on the Azure, like CentOS, Azure, Linux, different Windows 2012, different platform is also available on the both. Image choice is 67,000 and 2,843 images same time. Images, it means that AMI images. Do you know guys the AMI images?
Yeah.
No, we don't. Yeah.
Amazon machine images. I will let you know once we're going further, but this is kind of already images like OS already implemented. If you're going for the EC2 instances in your AWS, and there is a one tab is available, Amazon AMI, Amazon machine images, where you can just load your operating system same time, right? Then what kind of OS supported? This is 11, this is 9 supported, this is maximum CPU 40 and 32, and this is maximum memory is 244 GB and 448 GB, right? So these are the main the compute differences. Okay, so what is the conclusion? The conclusion is the both things are the ties have happened. You probably don't need 65,000 images. Suppose your AWS providing the 67,000 of images, right? And there is no use of it, because in your working in the organization, I don't think so we required the more than 30 or more than 40 images at the same time. No one required at the same time. Okay, but in the Azure we have 2,000 images. We can most probably we are using 30 to 40 in the enterprise environment, so there is no use of it. But it is features, we can use it at any time. That is the beauty about the AWS. You probably don't need 448 GB of RAM, so I don't think so any servers we provide the 448 GB of RAM. So this is also what comparison. Azure and AWS both provide incredible power in their compute category. So if you're going for the EC2 instances or VNet kind of stuffs, so both are okay, right? So there is no difference about the what compute part in the AWS and Azure. So the matter of fact that the pricing part is so important here. So what type of pricing of the instances, then you will have to keep in mind same time. Okay, the second things we are just differentiate between the both cloud as a storage part, because any cloud required compute part, we require network part, we require storage part, we require database part. Okay, we require pricing part. So this is the second part, this is the storage part. So this is the AWS and this is the Azure. So some of the things, if you so the MongoDB kind of stuff, if you're going for the Hadoop kind of stuff, so and there is a maximum size of the blob is 5 TBs here, and 1 TB of is in the Azure. So most we can say that as a storage part, the advantage of the particular AWS is very best, I think. Say that. So the auto archiving is also available into the AWS, and also in reduced this is a file level kind of redundancy is here. Okay, so what is the best part about the AWS? The best part about the AWS is basically we have the S3 lifecycle management. You can archiving, suppose you saved your data on September 4 2016, right? And this is 0 day, and then the object is going to the archiving part, and the December 3 2016 90 days, and it is automatically archiving to the Glacier. So you have created the S3 bucket and then move your object into the S3, and you have creating the policy, and it will automatically move to the Glacier. And in the Glacier it will automatically we can create a policies over there. This data we have to archiving, or we have to remove the data after a specific interval of time. So this is the policy we can define it, because you are saving your cost on the storage part. If your data is saved in the storage, and it will charge you at the same time, right? So you are creating the policies, what number of days, 90 days, 730 days, as per your company requirement. So it is saving your cost at the same time. Are you able to understand? Hello?
Yeah.
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 Okay, that is the only one reason that S3 and also the Glacier comes to the picture, and that policy kind of stuff is there, and this is saving of the cost. Okay, so the storage part, we can say that the advantage of the storage is AWS is 9 out of, and the Azure is 6. So beauty about this AWS storage, basically we have archiving, we have X number of days, we can go for it, and then we can saving the money. Okay, then you go to the database part. Yes, database part, the basically I can say that if you guys tell me one thing, that if your database in SQL, which one cloud platform you was going to adopt?
platform means
if your database of your company is in SQL based, right? So what kind of storage, what kind of database you adopt? Should you go for the
Azure.
AWS?
Azure.
Yes, you're right, definitely. Because SQL is a part of we can say that Microsoft is a part of SQL because Microsoft providing the SQL licensing also sort of stuffs. And if you look at the particular slide, it's easy to implement, easy to create a database into the particular Azure side, but it's a moderate because it's a product of Microsoft. Azure is SQL is a product of Microsoft. That's why they own Azure and own SQL. Then easy to implement, easy to implement into the organization. But it is moderate. He has to take a license at the same time, right? But we can do in the AWS as well same time. No problem with this. And the ease of backup, easy to hear. You can just create in the Azure side. You can take a backup at the same time, but we have to create a backup policies here, create a backup kind of stuff here same time. So what is the best things about database? Because the AWS is best things for the database part, because we have different database, MongoDB, DynamoDB, Radius, or different kind of databases we can create it over here. That is why the AWS is number one for the same kind of things. But if you are implementing your database into the SQL, that is then the Azure is the best things for you. You can go for it. So if you look at here, AWS RDS with different Amazon Aurora, MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, MySQL Server, the number of database things you can just find out in the AWS. Or very easy cost and very easy to implement and very easy to understand all sort of things on the database part in the AWS. Okay, so what is a which is the best deployment model, AWS or Azure? So depend on the what kind of services we are going to adopt, right? Suppose you have to deploy a Visual Studio, so the both are supported. Ease of deployment is moderate or it's the easy. If you're working on the AWS, right, everything you need to create manually, right? First of all, you have to create a VPC, you have to create a EC2 instance, you have to create a subnet part, you have to create a different things. But once you're going for the Azure part, right? Sorry, I just move it here. Yes. So suppose you're going for the AWS Azure part, if you create instances, you will find out everything is in the same console at the same time. If you created this thing in the future, in the previous in the past, then you can easily understand that in the Azure, once we're creating any instance over there, then the subnetting gateway and the zone and the region is coming on the same page. So very easy to understand, very easy to deployment same time. But in the AWS, we have to create manually each and everything. So we can say that the winner is Azure because the interface, the deployment, everything is very easy into the Azure part. But in the Amazon, we have to create each and everything manually, separately, and then we have to map the each and everything. Suppose you created the VPC, then you have to map the subnet, then you create some routing here there, and then you have to create some internet gateway, then you have to create some what sub VPN kind of stuffs. So number of things you can create it. Then the security part, which is most secure. So I would like to understand from you both that what is the best thing about the security? Do we require some security into the cloud or not?
yeah, obviously, because no one can access our data. We have to secure
Okay. So, have you ever applied security in your company, and what is your prospect that if the security is not in the cloud, then what happened according to you?
Data integrity should not be there, and someone will steal our data and they can misuse it.
Any,
Yes, you're right.
anyone, yes.
So, once we're going for the security, right, we have to understand the CIA concept because it's the principle of the security, right? CIA means that confidential, integrity, and availability, right? So, when we going for the because once I was in a company and I have to meet some, different client side, and they will ask me simple question that why we secure our cloud. This is the question they will ask me, and simply said that if you're not secure your cloud, then anybody can steal because every company and everything is hacked in the entire world, right? And cloud is a very important prospect for the security just because of anyone can advantage because if you're not providing the different IAM roles at the same time, and anyone can steal your data and then they can misuse same time, right? Because one more thing I will add into this bit particular, because every cloud company like Azure, like AWS, what they're doing it actually, they have taking some different kind of certifications for security, like ISO 27000 is a certifications they will achieve. Okay, so they have different kind of certification, they will take care of it. But in the once you're going to create some instances of when you working on the AWS or Azure, right, you have to secure your each and everything. So for the security we are creating in the AWS security group, we can create a access policies, right? And we have some specific IAM rules is there. We have some inspectors also available there. So as per requirement, as per your company need, and as per you think that this is the right approach, we can go for security groups and network access list. We can create it in the AWS, and different IAM roles, different multi-factor authentication we are doing it, SSO we are using it for security. Okay, so this is sort of things we are doing it. Once we are going for the practical, or if we're going for the particular topic, then we will discuss more about this particular security. But here it is, what is the best things about the security, which one is best secure, AWS or Azure? So is integrated with the on-premises Active Directory? Yes, both things are, because SSO is there, SSO is also there. This is LDAP based, this is also a LDAP based. And who's control who add removes users, both are creating and remove user at the same time. Who control who can create and destroy its resources, both things are doing it. Find granted control over the resources access, yes, and short term, because right now it's a little old slide. So right now this is also, yes, we can say that government friendly cloud region, both are cloud regions. So as we can say that this, as the security part, both are same at the same point of time, but one difference is there. If you're going for the AWS IAM, we have secured the specific command level security on the AWS side. Suppose a database person, MongoDB is a database, right? And we have providing security over a command line, right? This user can do this command, this user can do this command, this user can do this type of command. So this is command level security. This is advantage. One of the best feature of AWS is basically we can secure, we can provide a security to the command level, and we can implement on the cloud same time. But it we cannot do into the Azure command level security. So security side, we can say that the AWS is the best things for the security part. Okay, so user interface. So user interface is web-based tools. We can use it. CLI-based. We can log in. PowerShell. We can use it. Python, Ruby, SDK, software development kit for different software. We have to log into the SDK same time. Java.NET SDK is supported. So both things are same at the same point of time. So this is the interface of the Azure side. If you're little idea about the Azure, then you will just find out all sort of information. This is one console is there, and this is subscription at the right side of this particular right side of this particular slide, and then you will once you're creating any EC2 instance or any services, then you will find out each and everything in the same console. Okay, so very easy. You know what portal is over there, and then you just provide information at the same time, and it is created at the same point of time. Okay, but I will say one thing is that the Azure is a bit slower than AWS. If you're creating the MySQL database into the Azure, it will take around 40 minutes. If you're creating any gateway, if you're creating any database server, then it will take only around 30 to 40 minutes to create or implement, right? But AWS is very fast as compared to Azure, right? Then we have to go for the interface. So as you know that the Microsoft is always believe that the user interface should be very good, because the basic understanding of the people that interface, how much was user friendly of the interface. But the AWS interface is not so much friendly. We can say that we have to going for the different features. We have to create it manually kind of stuffs, and then we have to understand we have created this feature, and we have to map this particular feature to the different feature at the same time. So this is all about the manually task. We can do it into the uh, AWS side. Okay, again the support and community, we can say that the market share market of the particular AWS 31%. That is why number one. The Azure is 9%. So I think it is little increased at the same time. I think is for that 39 to 40% is the AWS market current ratio, and this is 15 to 20% is there. Okay, number of stacks, number of conferences, webinars, seminars, broadcast, and webcast. Yeah, this is the only difference, because the support and community is providing very good on the AWS. If you check in the AWS side, you will got number of conferences going on in the US side. Okay, that is why the people know that this AWS is what is a cloud is implemented first time into the 2008 nearby. So that is the only number one cloud, and it is easy to understand, easy to implement, cost-effective solution, and flexibility, and we can reliable on this particular cloud. That is why the AWS we can say number one. Suppose you are working in the gaming industry, and if you're working on a share market side of any company, and if you're working on any company where we can the high utilization is going on, so we have the scalability of the server, flexibility, and we can number of different instances we can create, and reserved instances we can do it. So AWS is best things, if you can say that. Geographical reason we can say that AWS is number one. But Azure, we can say that if you working in a modern medium-sized enterprise, and where we have to create a not so much instances, but working on the website level kind of stuffs. So Azure is a, we can say that it's the best things for best tool we can use for medium-sized enterprises and small level enterprises, because they don't want to waste too much money into the particular infrastructure part. But AWS are using all those companies where the infrastructure is very big. Okay, so what we can conclude is this basically as the supported community and the webinars, seminars, understanding, videos, PDFs, all this information is provided by the Amazon. So that is why the Amazon is got high ranked 8 marks out of 10, and it is Azure is 10 marks out of 10. Okay, the Azure Fridays channels 9 are great. You can just watch it if you have little time. So that is also good for you to understanding the Azure side as well. Okay, at Amazon have more conferences and webinars. Azure focus on the broadcast and channel 9 videos. So if you going for the YouTube, you will find out lots of videos, informations over the Amazon as compared to Azure. That is why the users are going for the number one cloud at the same time. Okay, we're going for some. This is the best part. We can say that the pricing part. So which service we have to go for it, and how much pricing it will take. So uh, we have month of the VM is 1 GB, 30 GB. Suppose this is a one example. You have got a one VM, created one VM, and it's 1 GB of RAM and 30 GB of space. And how much costing? The 16.18 of the monthly costing of the AWS side and the 17.85 GB of Azure side. So this is the only one we can say difference about the pricing part. VMs built by the hour and the minute. Okay, suppose you created any instance on the EC2 instance on the AWS and it will do done 38 minutes or 39 minutes or 40 minutes. Will have to charge hourly. But here it is, if you created any instance for 30 minutes or 35 minutes, then you have to charge as per this minute, how much minute you were working. But we can say that as a modernized approach, it is not necessary, because every running instance is working. We cannot count the seconds, the minutes, because any servers instances we have created, it's for the long term, for the working. So I don't think so this is a matter for at the same time. The cost of store 1 GB is $3 and 2.40 GPU stores. We are using the Glacier is very important here, and with this 0.29 as dollars per month. I think this is the reference, but it is also important here to learn. Small SQL Server DB is $20, and this is for 4.98 GB of the costing of the dollars. So if you are running the MySQL into the AWS, it will charge you lots of money. But Azure is a product of Microsoft is a product of Azure, and SQL also the product of Microsoft. So this is a little money. So I suggest that every company that for the MySQL kind of stuff, then it is you have to go for the Azure. It is cheaper than your AWS. And transcode 1 hour HD video. This is 1.80 and 1.99. So this is MySQL. This is 3600. So this is depend on the hour rate. We can say that. So what is the best part? The AWS is the best for the pricing part. We can monthly billing. We can go for it. We can provide the quota, that 70% or 80% when it is going upper, then it will send you the message. So the SQL part is also important in the Azure side, and also Azure bills by the minute, AWS billed by hour, offer spot pricing, reserve instances, which can you say stop money, all sort of things. So the another factor of is troubleshooting. So you guys are just working in different industry, and if you're working on the cloud part, right? So you came to know that, sir, which is the best thing, and if any problem comes, then how can we troubleshooting? Which cloud we have to adopt for easy to understand, easy to troubleshoot. So AWS is a good thing for you. It's easy to understand. Different dashboard is coming. Okay, tracking CPU usage, notification alerts, error reports, centralized logging and reports, custom dashboards. So you will got all the information at the same time. But in the Azure, this is you have to find out where the problem is all about. So it will time consuming, and it is not a cost effective solution at the same time. So as we are talking about the troubleshooting part, AWS is best thing for you. You can easily understand where it is going on. The cloud trail, cloud watch is okay. You can create over there, and then you can just alarming at the same time. You have just, if your CPU going to the more than 70%, it will send you the alarm. It will send you the message. It will send you the email same time. So it is best for you going for the troubleshooting part. Okay, so that is why the Amazon is number one, because it is providing a number of features, number of advantage over troubleshooting, right? And so the another question is the uptime. Which cloud we can choose for which is the best uptime? So right now this is the SLA for 99.95. The same thing is there. SLA storage 99.9, same thing. And 2014 this is the 2.41 minute was down. AWS is down. Azure is 39.77 hours. It was down. In 2015 2.50 and 10.82 hours is down, and last 30 days means that we can say from 16 17 2.2 minutes it was down, and it was not down. So right now both are right now is available, so there is no uptime issues at the currently. But in the previous, I think we can say that previous 2 months there was some issues into the Azure side, but they will assess at the same time. But the matter of fact that if you're not going to purchase the premium support of the Microsoft, and then you have some, it will taking some time to find out the issues at the same time. So uptime, this is the uptime information, is the different regions and different kind of services, which things are was down, and which was the location, so you just easily understand where it was down, why it is down, everything. So uptime is basically, as per information, we can say that the Amazon is a number one just because of there is no downtime. Okay, Azure is also the same time. The current situation is this: both are same at the same time. Both get the 99 out of 10, because Azure is not down for the last 1 year. But some of the services are creating some problems. If you check the previous some experiences which I felt into the Azure side. So why the AWS is number one? Just because of here the 78% marks it has got, and is 70% of the Azure. So we can say different services, different features. As per this, you have to think that which one best for you. So which cloud computing you have to adopt, it depends on the situation. Okay, so depend on the situation which kind of cloud you want to take. Okay, decision making. So what kind of decisions you are going to take? So you just depend on this particular cloud. Okay, so Saurabh.
Yeah.
Yes.
So guys, today we are discussing about the benchmarking hardware and software, and we also, get some information why we are adopting AWS instead of Azure, the differentiate between the different features, right? So
Yes.
I will send you this PPT to you as well. Okay, no problem whatsoever. So just read it, and then we will tomorrow we will be starting some AWS. Different features, different architecture part. Because my suggestion basically is cost-effective solutions you have to provide, best performance, best security point of view. That is the only thing that we have to go for the AWS, and then we will cover one by one each day.
Okay.
Right? So any confusion in this, and is there any questions you would like to ask me in the same?
No, as of now, need to check today later on, and if there is any issue, let you know tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. And Saurabh, is there any questions to you as well?
No, as of now, it's okay.
Okay, so guys, I think because you have the basic idea, understanding about the AWS, and then we will move further. But I would like to suggest you that when you're working on the cloud part, right, you have to idea about the all sort of cloud, and then what is the best things we can do into the cloud. environment. Because in any modern company, because we are working in I'm working in the Accenture right now as a project manager, and we have at least 4 clouds in our company as a different client side. Okay, the Azure we are working on it. We are working on the AWS. We are working on the IBM software. We are working on data grid. Okay, different clouds. So when once you talking to the cloud computing, right, you have to convince to the management, you have to convince to the, if any person coming from the Microsoft, or any person coming to the AWS side, you have to convince that this is the requirement analysis, this is the benchmarking we have done it, this is the architecture we want, and this is uh, the pricing we can just negotiate at the same time. If you have better understanding, better knowledge about the cloud computing, you can negotiate the pricing part. And that is, what the requirements, that is the only one thing that your company looking for you, expecting from you, that you have to just negotiate the pricing part. And once you're working into the any cloud like AWS or Azure, your prime motive is basically to, what provide is cost effective solution, and the disaster recovery at the same time. Okay, and the business continuity plan we have to create. So tomorrow we will just talking about some architecture part at the same time. How can we business continuity plan we can create? How can we create a disaster recovery plan? And then we will have to create the going for the specific topics like VPC, storage, security. Uh, this is kind of stuff, because these are easy to understand, but once you're working on the data center side, you have to understand all the architecture level kind of stuff, because the expectation is more from the management, because they don't know anything about the cloud, and you are the only person who are managing the cloud, and you have to understand any recovery point of time, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Kaustubh, and thank you, Saurav. And I think tomorrow Aparna will also join it, no problem. So we will continue tomorrow as well. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, and okay, bye. We'll meet you tomorrow, same time, 7 o'clock.
Sure. Sure.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you.